Here we have a component that is parsing the an ID from a URL that is some path parameter, right? That presumably is identifying a particular course whose ID is the one that we're passing. So we would like to be able to fetch information about that course, right? And I believe we have an API for that, right? Where we can provide the we can use that ID and use it as a parameter for this API, right? That we can use to retrieve a particular object from this API using that ID. So let's do that. We can go into the course viewer, and in the course viewer component, we can use that ID to fetch information about that course and maybe store it in a local copy of a state variable that represents the course. So we'll initialize a state variable for that course. It's going to have an initial ID of some empty string and an initial title, also an empty string. All right, so what we're going to do is that we're going to go and fetch that information. We're going to say fetch, right, and we're going to paste that URL. And instead of using this hard-coded ID for the course, we're instead going to use the one that we just that we might have retrieved from the parameters in the path, right? So we can say here that course ID. Okay, this is going to come back with a response from the server, which we can then parse out the body, the JSON in the body. And that presumably is going to be the course object from the server, which we can then use to populate our local copy. Right, and once we have that, once we have the course object from the server in the HTML component, we can show the name of that course down below. So maybe in H2, it'll be maybe course, and then the title of the course. Okay, so if we go back and refresh, right, notice that we have indeed the ID, we have the name of the course, the title. If we go back and click on a different module, a different course, we have test, we have module, and we can create perhaps a couple other courses, right? We can create a course from Postman. Right, we can say a new request. We'll call it maybe create course, right? And in the create course, this could be a post, and this would be the URL. So courses, we're going to save, and in the body, we can send some raw JSON data that includes maybe the initial title, and this is cs4550. We can send that over. It was able to store it. If we go back and look at the list of courses, we have the cs4500, which we just created, and we can create a couple more. And this is cs5610, right? And if we refresh, right, we have the list of cs5610, and then we can navigate and have the ID and then the title of that course. Excellent. So that's working.